what's up, man? Are you looking for tips on how to maximize your productivity? Well, you've come to the right place, my friend, because we're going to discuss that in this video. Yo, what's up, guys? What's going on? I'm Frank. This is the Digital Boss Life, and what I do is help online entrepreneurs, affiliate marketers, and beasts to flex their money-making muscles. Today, I want to talk productivity and how do you specifically maximize your productivity. And this is a super important topic of conversation because it has everything to do with your ability to produce an outcome in your business and your life. And truthfully, to be honest with you, I think we have the concept or idea of productivity and how to be productive really messed up. Because most of us are trained on a formula that probably only a select few individuals are really good at making successful. And school and the system of work and life in general would tell most of us that we're all kind of working on an hour-to-hour basis. So locked in this concept of time and the hour. And the idea that to become successful, you need to be grinding, bleed through your eyes, and be working 12 hours a day. But my argument is, if you've been applying that technique to your productivity and it hasn't quite given you the result that you're looking for, could it be possible that that's not exactly the formula for you? So the answer to the question of how exactly do you maximize your individual ability to produce is really very simple. Don't listen to anyone else about what makes you productive and test everything. I'm really kind of coming to these conclusions as I roll along here, so I'm going to take you on my journey with me. But I purchased a product from Tai Lopez a while back. I really like Tai Lopez. I think he's one of the smartest dudes on the planet. Some people dislike him. I think he's got stuff figured out in terms of money and the overall balance of enjoying life, which I'm going to argue is the most important thing that you should be aiming for. And in Tai's product, it's called the 12 commandments or 12 things that he wish he learned before he started his entrepreneurial journey. I don't know what the name of the thing is, but it's awesome because he talks a lot about, how do you discover how you make yourself more productive, right? And he's coming really at a different angle than most of the gurus out there who would tell you that the only way to be successful is, again, to grind it out 12 hours a day and make sure every single hour of that day is productive. However, if that is not a good productivity formula for you specifically, it is, in fact, terrible advice. Now, it's not to say that that formula does not work for some people, because for some of you guys, it will work. But for the rest of you, us and me, who that's not working for, could it be possible that there might be another formula or a different way to do things that will actually help you be productive towards your goals? And in the 12 commandments or the 12 something, I don't know, go check out Tai Lopez. I'll put a link down below. It's not even going to be an affiliate link, but it's an awesome product. And in it, what he talks about is this idea of balance and the good life and how that's more important to your success than anything else. You see, a lot of people, we start aiming at being successful in finances, and then we'll put our health and our fitness on the side. We'll put our relationships with our friends, family, significant others, our children to the side. And we're like, we got to put our head down and go accomplish this thing, right? Because you got to focus and accomplish this thing. But what happens when you do that is now your health gets out of whack. So you're unhealthy, you have less energy, and you're miserable. And your relationships go out of whack. So you're less healthy, you have less energy, and you're miserable. And my friend, misery is not a good formula for success. He even goes on to talk about things like sleep and if you listen to some of the gurus out there, if you sleep more than 6 hours, well, you, my friend, are a bum. But the research says that having less than 8 hours, again, has a negative impact on your ability to focus and your health. So if you have a negative impact on focus, attention, okay, my attention on something that I need to produce, right? And my health is now taking a hit because I'm sleeping less, because I'm going to beat myself up because the guru over here who does awesome with less sleep told me that that's the thing you need to do to be successful. And the truth is, you're probably going to be way more productive when you've slept well, you have a great night of sleep, your body and your mind has recovered from the day before, and then you can really dig in and focus on what's important in front of you and get the important stuff done, not just killing time throughout the day because someone told you that you got to work 12 hours a day. How many of those 12-hour days have been productive for you? Just tell me. There's a point of diminishing returns. It's like literally after a certain point, how could you even focus? If you're working on things that really move the needle forward, how many hours during the course of your day can you focus intensely and still be productive? It doesn't work that way. Some people, and they are the minority, make that work. But the rest of us human beings, we need a different strategy to be able to have success. Now I'm going to be very transparent with you. I've discovered this in my process of being an entrepreneur. And I'll go back like to my childhood. I had a pretty rough childhood. My father got sick. He had multiple sclerosis. Spent most of my life taking care of him. Very traumatic stuff. My mother, she abandoned me. We went to foster homes. We had all these people doing bad things, right? So a lot of just messed up stuff happened when I was a kid, and I carried that into my adulthood. You know, you don't get free of the things that happen to you in life, especially not that, right? So me personally, I'm walking around with just a ton of stress from a time before I even knew how to handle stress or what to do with stress, right? So my last business, I was in fitness, I had a gym, and I burnt out. Like I burnt out bad and hard. And part of the reason I burnt out is because I did not take into consideration the entire life load that goes along or comes along with you into what you're trying to produce on the financial end in your business. So for me not to consider the overall, what I'll call life load, the stuff that I had experienced as a kid and how it impacted me and my personal relationships, kind of isolated me as an individual, not in a conscious way, but in a subconscious way. The things that were really missing for me in life are more about relationships, are more about my health, and not necessarily about putting effort into building a business. Although building a business is super important, it's going to take a lot of attention and a lot of effort. But the more I try to push the meter 12 hours a day and get everything else in my life, the more I ignore my personal relationships, that side of something that was missing in me, right? The more I ignore my health, which is probably the most important thing to me with my father being sick and watching how bad that could be. The more I do those things, the more miserable I become, the more my energy gets stripped, and the less attention, passion I get to put into the actual financial side. And that, my friend, is not a good recipe for success. And just for the record, I believe in energy, manifestation, quantum physics. A lot of people apologize. Oh, it's, I'm so sorry for this woo-woo stuff. Like, no, it's actual science. Go follow Joe Dispenza. So it's way more important for you as an entrepreneur to manage your energy, or a better way to talk about that is to actually manage your happiness in life, than it is for you to think that you're going to pound away at the pavement 12 hours a day, 7 days a week for the next year and a half, 2 years, 5 years, and actually have a success formula in life for that. Your energy is going to get screwed up if you start ignoring the other parts of your life that truly need balance. And if you listen to Dr. Joe Dispenza, what he talks about is the more stressed you become, the more you ignite your fear centers because you're putting stress on you. Okay, work hours are stress. Your physical fitness is stress. Keeping up with all these things can be stress, right? So you need to have the appropriate balance, again, to keep yourself in the right energy place. But the more stress that you have, and it's individual, right? It's individual. It shuts down your ability to solve problems. So it gives you what's called a convergent focus, your ability and awareness to kind of get out of your own head. You get stuck on the problem. It's here. Where you want more of a divergent focus, an ability to open up your mental space. And from there, in a relaxed state, you're able to solve problems more quickly. And I will make a very strong argument that what makes most people struggle at starting an online business or starting any business is, in fact, the focus on stress and the problems, and also trying to fit themselves into a mold of another individual who, quite simply, is not you. So what they're saying works for them may not work for you, because the big question is, have you tested these formulas for yourself? So, have you actually tested how much sleep that you need to wake up, feel good, and be productive? Have you tested how many of your work hours per day actually go towards something that's productive until that falls off? Have you tested how much recovery time that you need? How much exercise time, or exercise might be too much for you? How much personal time do you need with your friends, family, and attention on your kids? Have you tested these things? I'm going to give you more context and example, again, based off these silly norms that everyone tries to fit into. I'm a very creative individual. I'm a hip hop artist. I enjoy creating these videos. And when you're creative, being on the clock and having a stopwatch on what you're doing tends to make what you're doing more difficult. So if I maximize my productivity by being creative, if I put a stopwatch on myself and hinder that creative process, is that going to make me more effective or less effective? And I've been trying to fit myself into that mold for years, setting the clock hour by hour. On this 15th minute, I'm going to do this and do that. And the truth is, as I sit back and really think about it, have I ever been productive trying to fill my whole day, hour by hour, with stuff to do? And the answer is no. And all it's really served to do is make me more miserable and hate my life as it is, because I'm not happy. And I'm telling you, the most important thing that you can take into your productivity is your good health, your good energy, and your happiness. This is a marathon, my friends. This is a marathon. And it's way more important to wake up every day and be consistent at the important stuff, okay, the stuff that really moves the needle, than to try to fit into someone else's formula because they said that's the way it's supposed to go, and burn yourself out and lose your consistency. Now, this is a big rant that I went on here, but I'm truly passionate about these concepts. And again, it comes from my life specifically. Like what I experienced in my life, pretty horrendous stuff coming up as a kid. And then I took that into trying to start a business and burning out. Man, I burnt out so bad I felt flat on my face. Right? And I've just discovered the more I went, I'm like, wait a minute, like, is this formula actually work for me? Can I actually be productive 12 hours a day? Or am I just making myself miserable, more stressed out, and converging my focus in this area when I need to really find a formula that works for me, even if it's less time than the gurus say, as long as I stay consistent towards the things that really matter. And that's very important. When you are being productive, you want to do things that really matter. But seriously, ask yourself, like, of those 12-hour days, 7 days a week, how many of them are actually productive hours, or how many of those hours are you just killing time so you can tell yourself that you worked a 12-hour day? There's people on both sides of the equation, man. There's people over here saying you gotta grit your teeth, hard work, head down, 12 hours a day. And some of those people are making it work. Then there's people on this side over here, and they're saying it's not about hard work, it's about your energy, it's about you manifesting, keeping your energy right, and drawing in the things to your life that are important to you. These guys are making it work. These guys are making it work. What's the answer? What is the answer? Who's right and who's wrong? They're both right. And the question for you is, where do you fit along this spectrum? Don't try to fit yourself into this just because your favorite guru said that's the way you're supposed to do it. You got to figure out the specific way in which you produce at a high level for yourself, and that's it. The big point here is test this shit, man. Test this shit. Make sure you test out specifically what is going to work for you, and don't get caught up in what everyone else is doing. Make sure you have a balanced life, okay? Your family, your friends, your social life, your health is just as important as your money. And if you keep all that stuff in context for yourself, okay, and work on balancing those things, not 50-50, but having balance to the course of your week and the course of your month, okay? You're not going to put those things on a back burner for any amount of time and get success at that. You got to put it all together. It can be a challenge, but my friend, that's what you came to this earth for, to take on those challenges and make yourself a success, not just in business, in all areas of life. You will do that by testing exactly what is the best formula for you. I hope this video helped you out, and I'm gonna keep harping on this, talking about these types of things, because I think it's the most important aspect to create success, not only in your business, but in your life. What the digital boss life, what is this about? The digital boss life is creating a financial abundance through the internet. It's an amazing tool that we can leverage, right? We should leverage things that are going to make our life easy, make it easy for us to make money and become financially abundant. But financial abundance without your health, without your relationships, without your happiness, it's not really something that's a long-term strategy. It's not a long-term strategy for success. We need to work on putting all those things together in order to be able to attract and draw in more financial abundance and happiness and awesomeness into our life. So I'm going to keep talking about these things. Anyway, I hope this video really helped you guys out. If it did, put a comment down below. Let me know, Frank, this stuff is awesome, man. I would really appreciate that. Guys, I'm Frank. This is the Digital Boss Life. I'm going to catch up with you very soon.